Something huge is happening within India's criminal justice system. A brand new rulebook, the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita 2023, or BNSS for short, is here, and it's set to change, well, pretty much everything. So in this explainer, we're going to unpack exactly what this new code, this new Sanhita, is all about.
So where do we start? Here's the plan. First, we'll get to know the new code itself. Then we'll figure out exactly who it affects and where. After that, and this is a big one, we'll see how justice is going digital. We'll also break down the critical rules around crime and arrest. And finally, we'll get you up to speed on some key terms you'll want to know. Ready? Let's go.
All right, let's get right into it. First up, what exactly is this new Sanhita? The easiest way to think about it is like a new operating system for the entire criminal justice process. It's the one rulebook that lays out every single step, from the moment a crime is reported all the way to a final verdict. And it's replacing a system that was, decades and decades old. Now, the official text says its job is to consolidate and amend the law. So what does that really mean in plain English? Well, imagine you've got this messy, cluttered attic full of old rules, some of which don't even make sense together anymore. The BNSS is basically coming in, tidying the whole thing up, throwing out what's outdated, and creating one streamlined system that's just easier for everyone to use. Okay, so we've got a handle on what this new code is. The next big question is, where does it actually apply? And who's affected? Let's dig into the scope of this new law.
The starting point is pretty simple. The BNSS covers the whole of India. It's a nationwide law, so no matter where you are in the country, these new rules are now the law of the land.
But, and you knew there was a but coming, right? Like with any major law, there are a couple of really important exceptions to keep in mind. So here they are. The BNSS doesn't automatically apply in the state of Nagaland or in certain specified tribal areas. Now, why is that? Well, it's mainly because these regions often have their own unique, long-standing local customs and legal traditions. That said, the state government can choose to apply the new code in these areas if they decide it's the right move. All right, this is where things get really interesting. Some of the biggest changes aren't just about where the law applies, but how it's going to work in our modern digital world. So get ready, because we're about to look at a tech revolution in the justice system. So how is this all happening? It really kicks off with this new official term, audio, video, electronic. You'll notice the definition is super broad. It's not just about video calls. It covers pretty much any communication device that can be used for things like recording evidence or conducting searches. This is a huge step in formally bringing the legal system into the 21st century.
And this just gives you a taste of what that looks like in the real world. I mean, think about it. A witness giving testimony from hundreds of miles away via video conference. A police search being recorded from start to finish on a body cam. Crucial documents sent instantly. This is a potential game changer for speed, transparency, and just having a rock-solid record of what happened.
Okay, so we've talked tech. Now let's get down to brass tacks. Crime and arrest. How does the BNSS change the fundamental rules for police? Let's break down what this means for law enforcement and for citizens. This brings us to what is, honestly, one of the most critical questions in any justice system. When can a police officer arrest someone without getting permission from a judge first? The law draws a really clear line in the sand here. It all comes down to whether an offense is cognizable or non-cognizable. Think of a cognizable offense as a serious crime, say theft or assault, where police are given the power to arrest on the spot. For non-cognizable, or less serious offenses, they absolutely have to get a warrant first, no exceptions. All right, so an arrest has been made. The very next question on everyone's mind is usually about bail. Can the person who was arrested be released while they wait for their trial? The BNS has a clear framework for this too. It's another two-category system, bailable and non-bailable. Basically, the law has a specific list of offenses that are considered bailable. If the crime is on that list, getting bail is a right. For every other crime, what's called a non-bailable offense, getting bail isn't guaranteed. It's up to a judge to decide. Okay, to really wrap our heads around all this, we need to speak the language. In our final section, let's quickly run through a few more key terms from the BNSS that will help you understand the whole system a lot better. Now, this is a really important one. The difference between an inquiry and an investigation. Think of it as two different jobs for two different teams. An investigation is what the police do. They're out there collecting evidence, talking to people. An inquiry, on the other hand, is what a judge or a magistrate does. It's the formal court process of figuring out the facts.
This is actually a really powerful tool for regular citizens. A complaint is when you, as an individual, can go directly to a magistrate, either by speaking to them or in writing, and allege that a crime has been committed. It's a formal way to kickstart the legal process, and it's totally separate from a report filed by the police.
And last, but definitely not least, we have to talk about the victim. The BNSS gives a very clear definition. It's anyone who has suffered any kind of loss or injury because of the crime. And what's really important is that the definition also includes their guardian or their legal heirs, making sure the system recognizes and supports them too.
So, there you have it. We've seen how this new code is designed to modernize the process, officially bring technology into the fold, and clarify the rules for everyone. But the story's just beginning. The real question is the one we're left with. How will all of this, a more digital, more streamlined procedure, actually change the day-to-day pursuit of justice in India? That's what we'll all be watching.